Rare Friday stream. Yeah, just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Ugh. Also, hi Yun. I meant to say that as well. Hey, I hope you're all doing good. I hope you're all doing good. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. We're only going to be live for a little bit. I just wanted to talk about something for a bit. Been absolutely chilling, doing pretty well. That's good. That's good. Played some Rainbow Six Siege with my friends. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I hate myself too sometimes. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I mean, it's not a joke, but you know, I'm kidding. Oh, not the lotion. The lotion is in the background. It's actually sunscreen, but you know. Ugh. Why the hell do I have a Duolingo sub? Wait, what does that mean? What do you mean Duolingo sub? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Oh no. What? What? My sub ran out. You know! You gotta use your Twitch Prime! You gotta use your Twitch Prime! Are you sure? Sham, this is gonna be a bit of a different stream, Sham. This is gonna be a different stream. Also, hello. I may be an ad gel. I wish I had Prime. No! Finally, me and Stream Pretzel. I'm so glad to see you here. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. I have no ads for some reason. Oh, well. Hey, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But yeah, today's gonna be a very different kind of stream. I hope you guys are ready for me to rant and rave and be upsetty spaghetti, because that's what's about to happen. I am here to, I'm not actually upset. I want to have a conversation about something that nobody is really saying. We're gonna be having we're gonna be talking about some stuff. We might get a little topical today. Hey, don't you start. Don't me, okay? Don't do it. Don't start that. But yes. We're gonna do something a little bit different today. We're gonna try and keep it civil. I know it's grippy, bruh. Brother, you got no goddamn idea. What? I'm reading chat from TikTok. Brother, you got no goddamn idea. That shit got that gorilla grip. Now hold on a minute. What the hell? Oats. Brother, please give me the oats, brother. Can you spare some oats? Never spare your oats. Never spare your oats. Since when did you start streaming on TikTok? I think like a week ago, maybe something like that. I don't know. I know nothing about TikTok, and I'm new here. I'm a new kid on the block. I don't know what the fuck is going on, to be honest. I ain't got no goddamn clue. Fuck with the soundtrack. Are you talking about the music in the background? So I'm a music producer. I'm also a DJ. But that actually wasn't my track. That was a buddy's track. A buddy of mine made that, and I really enjoy it. This one is my track.
When I was younger.
Aha! I have bypassed the emoji thing. What are you talking about? Pretzel,
fear of dying.
how did you break Twitch this time?
I thought that if I die, that's fine with me anytime at all. Then I met
a certain moment and it changed.
When are we starting?
I started to
Give me a few more
I wanted
minutes.
to survive.
I'm gonna compose myself because I don't normally
First time the idea
I don't
of
normally
death
get
didn't scare
topical
me. So in
on
mind,
this channel. I don't.
I never felt that kind of feeling.
And I hope I hope everybody can have a calm, civil conversation. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Faded off somewhere.
That's the only thing I want.
Strange. You're the first person I ever said this to.
It's getting colder due to the season.
Why did you
Wait,
keep looking?
what did I miss? Well, use mail. What's the stream about, dude? We're gonna be talking about something because I had some. Somebody sent me a video in my Discord about a something that happened on stream today on Twitch. I stream on Twitch pretty often, so
That's why I have to see
I don't know. I be watching stuff about this pretty often. I keep up with it sometimes, but yeah. I'm gonna give a little bit of insight. Winter, please come faster. No, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. So we're gonna turn the music down. We're gonna turn the music. In fact, we're gonna turn the music off. This is crazy. Only been streaming on TikTok for a week, and now you're gonna drop some hot fire. No. That's not what's happening. That is not what's happening. I may have pinned a message while you were on break. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I know I fell asleep on stream the other day, and I did go to the hospital yesterday, so I didn't stream. I know. I'm sorry. I have a viral infection in my lungs because apparently my lungs are mildly weakened from me being an idiot and inhaling chemicals at my job. W Squidward painting. Thank you so much, Mr. Fahrenheit. Thank you. It's actually a gift. It's a gift from someone, but I loved it, so I put it up. It's only one ad, but it's a long ad. Keenan, what happened? You can't just start yelling at me through Twitch because you can't talk to me. Okay, well, we're about to get started, especially because Yoon is currently in an ad. I'm not gonna, we're not gonna sit here and wait any longer. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. I was, I just went to the yes, I'm okay. I went to the hospital briefly, yesterday, and that was just because, god damn it, now you got me, you're keeping me talking when I'm trying to, like, move into the topic today. Here, we'll turn on some music in the background while I keep fucking speaking and yapping. But no, I am fine. I have a little viral infection in my lungs. It'll go away. I have some I went to the doctor. I got some medication. That way we can take care of that. But that's neither here nor there. You're out of bad jail. Good. Okay, we can get to the topic now. No more yapping about this. Okay, we're gonna watch a video. This was sent to me by somebody over Discord, and they wanted my opinion on this because they knew I had been in the military, and they wanted to see what I thought about it. You hope I'm okay? I appreciate it. That's very sweet. I appreciate you a lot. Now, look, again, I just want everybody to be respectful. I'm not gonna be rude or mean. I don't know anything about this particular situation, and I don't have any strong opinions one way or the other. I'm just here to give an objective view on a very specific part of this video. I tried to find the original clip for it, but I can't be fucked to go do that. Time is very precious, and I don't have much. So, here we go. We'll get started. Where is here we go. Boom! Now you can see me. So this is the video that I was sent by somebody on Discord. By the way, after you went on break, I may have pinned a message that says rice shower best Uma. Look, W Uma Musume. I have no problem with Uma Musume, but at the same time, fuck Uma Musume. I got so tired of that game. So I have no strong reservations one way or the other. They're probably gonna be well, there's not probably. I've already watched a little bit of this. There's opinions that I may or may not agree with. We're not here to talk about those opinions. I'm here to respond directly to what is said about certain topics in this video because, again, I was asked to do so through Discord. So We're gonna skip
Trump
some
and
stuff.
Hegseth's
I don't care
military
about this
speeches were for
necessarily.
people like Asmongold, not
I
the
don't care
generals.
about Asmongold
Right, so quick
or
context.
Hasan.
Hasan is
I
talking
don't care
about the
about none of
U.S.
that.
military,
It's out
and
of
they
my
have some
fucking.
new policy.
I have no strong opinions one way or the other. I think they're both fucking people, and they have nothing to do with me or my daily existence.
Where they're basically no longer
But for context, I guess you do have to watch this part.
cutting standards for women or minorities in the army. Basically, they will have to reach the same like top standard fitness level as the men if they want to qualify, because it's a life and death scenario, I guess. And somehow he's brought up Asmongold.
Simply
I could see that being the case in a lot of situations, right? I could see that being the case where, like, maybe in other branches. So I was actually in the military. I was in the Navy, and I was stationed in Japan on a aircraft carrier. So specifically, my experience was a little bit different from some other people. To give some basic information, I do not have the most positive outlook on the military, despite having served, and sometimes I can feel not necessarily prideful, but sometimes I look at things and I go, yeah, I guess I did that thing. But overall, I feel like I have kind of a negative opinion of the military now after I had completed my service and got out and so on and so forth. But that's neither here nor there. But to go further into it, like he said, apparently women have to meet the same standards as men now in order to be in the military, which, let's be honest, those standards are still going to be kind of low. For example, there are different for different age brackets. You have to, when you're doing your PT exams or anything like that, there are certain requirements that you have to hit, certain thresholds for certain things, such as like a run, like a mile run or whatever, push-ups, sit-ups, things like that. There are certain requirements you have to meet, and there is a difference between what the threshold for men or women were, especially when I was in, but they're talking about doing away with that, and now it's going to be the same across the board. I feel like that I feel like there's still going to be a lower threshold, because they also have like a ranking system almost, where there is a lower threshold for people to meet like the bare minimum, right? And then it gets progressively higher, and there's differences in between each one. So I think it's still gonna be doable. I think it's still gonna be doable regardless, right? Yes. Today will be just an objective conversation on this. We're not gonna be assholes. Nobody's gonna be an asshole here. We're here to have a conversation. So thank you for acknowledging that. The military sniper outside your window waiting for you to disagree with the wrong things. You're so right. You're so right. I can't wait for it. I'm gonna step out in the morning, just blah, done. So look, Mr. FBI agent, I would never say nothing bad about you. I would never. Am I nodding or am I shaking my head right now? You have no idea. Okay. Anyway.
Simply put, if you do not meet the male level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Combat positions. I know some women from the military who could outlift me, who could outdo me in push-ups, who could outdo me in a mile run. I can see why they're making that distinction. You have to pay attention to verbiage. And I don't fucking agree or disagree necessarily, but I am acknowledging the fact that he said combat positions. I was not in a combat position. I did very briefly help with the pullout from the Middle East. That was all fucking terrible and horrible and dumb, but that was because I was on a ship that was told to go out there. However, no, I can see where he's coming from a logical viewpoint, right? If you can't do you should be held to a specific standard if you're going to be in a combat position.
Test or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position. The sooner we have the right people, the sooner we can advance the right policies. Personnel is policy. But I look out at this group.
Why did they film this? Why do you think? Because this is not for the generals. This is for the general public. This is for the Asmongold's. This is for the couch potatoes who will never serve, but have developed this like false notion in their minds that the U.S. military has been brain broken by woke. These are the people who looked at Mark Milley saying, of course he's Red Mao. He must understand the enemy, and went, oh my God, he's a woke transgender. Marks Milley. We have to fire him. That's
Okay. All right. There's a lot that just got said. There was my brain was being assaulted by all of the different topics he was bringing up. So I'm going to start with something. Being brain broken by woke. I think the military, the Navy was actually a perfect example. And I'm not saying that anybody was necessarily brain broken, but I will acknowledge the fact that there is a clear bias towards specific people within the military. Because just like with any environment, people kind of naturally branch off into their own little groups, because same group bias, right? That exists. People tend to naturally pursue people that they find themselves to be similar to. And when I was in the military, you had a lot of the people who were black, who tend to kind of crowd with one another, and they all share a lot of similarities and in the way that they think and stuff, so they tend to naturally separate into their group. But a better example, and yeah, I'm just yapping, I'm just talking right now, is the Navy woke. I mean, I don't like using the word woke. Woke is such a shit term that people use to throw around and shit. But I will admit, a perfect example from when I was in the Navy was the Filipinos. Which I maybe I have a little bit of a negative bias just because of the way that they treated me and anybody else that wasn't Filipino. There were plenty of Filipinos that I became friends with. Like, by and large, they were perfectly fine. They were super cool. But there was a bit of tribalism involved, where a lot of people who were Filipino, they called it the Filipino Mafia. That's an actual thing. Even the Filipinos called it the Filipino Mafia. My best friend and me act or type like each other. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, again, same group bias, right? But So the Filipino Mafia is kind of a thing where just the Filipinos tend to group up, and they all help each other out and help push each other a bit. But the Filipino Mafia kind of encompasses many different aspects of the military, right? And a lot of the times you don't get support from in different scenarios, like, unless you are Filipino, like rank, for example. It was a pretty frequent occurrence where somebody who was Filipino would come to the ship, and they would immediately be accepted into the Filipino Mafia with open arms. Perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. Whatever. It's cool. But they were the first people to get all of their qualifications, which you have to go through. It's a lot of work to get your quals. And your quals are everything. Quals in the military are like, how to do very specific things. And because of that, we put you on a higher pedestal, because now because you're on that higher pedestal, you are more likely to rank up, so on and so forth. And that's what would happen a lot. A lot of Filipinos would join the Navy, come to our ship, immediately get pulled into the Filipino Mafia, and then they would get helped behind the scenes and through under the table type shit to go up in rank throughout the military. Why are we talking about my country? I missed out a bit. Because in the military, in the Navy specifically, there is a large Filipino presence. But this is one part that I was referring to. But there was also, and there's negative things about this from both sides. Like, this is a very nuanced topic, but a lot of things for women worked that way as well, where, especially if you were a good-looking woman, you could go to a ship, specifically in the case of the ship that I'm referring to. They'd come to the ship, and because they were a woman, I'm not saying that they had it easier at all, right? But they're, by and large, that not everybody had it easier, but a good number of the attractive females that came to my ship we'll say, got some assistance in many ways. In many ways. Just like 9 cartons of milk duds. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you eat 9 cartons of milk duds? But and then there's a lot more that goes into it. But I don't think the Navy is necessarily woke, or the military in general. I know that there might be some things that could be seen as that way. I know the Navy itself prided itself on being the most progressive branch. Personally, I had no negative thoughts or anything on any of that necessarily, but oh, also Keenan, random thing that it totally isn't related. We got an earthquake and a brownout a few days ago. It sucked. Oh shit. In the Philippines? How did that happen? What the hell? Not an earthquake, bro. I'm about to be back in that. I know there was a big earthquake in Japan recently, and I used to be stationed out there, and I was so worried for all my friends and stuff in Japan. Oh, yeah, that was concerning. But we're gonna watch the rest of this. We're gonna watch the rest of it. We're gonna yap for a little bit, right? Pause and yap every now and then. But we are gonna finish, not this whole video. We're gonna kind of hop around if we need to, but yes.
Has been brain broken by woke. These are the people who looked at Mark Milley saying, of course he's Red Mao. He must understand the enemy, and went, oh my God, he's a woke transgender Marks Milley. We have to fire him. That's who this is for. These guys are so stupid. They literally think that the American military was like running around being like, yeah, we just got to be woke now. We have to be woke. It's so
I will say they did do, I wouldn't say that they tried to push woke, quote unquote, necessarily, but they did try to make it as inviting a place for anybody, regardless of background, orientation, ethnicity, whatever it may be, which I don't necessarily see that as a problem per se, but, you know, people differ on opinion. I low-key was gonna make a joke when or if you said the Navy was woke and be like, I may gotta join the Navy then, but I got distracted eating candy. That's insane.
stupid.
Right. So
It's
he's
Halloween
calling out
time.
Asmongold for not serving in the U.S. Army. I mean, okay, he's like a gaming streamer who
Yeah, I
happens
don't
to buy
like. I don't really care about either or. I've seen both people's content, so I don't necessarily feel like I have a place to comment on this particular portion. But again, we're gonna focus specifically on what Hasan is saying about the military in this video
body you in politics in his pastime.
and his opinions
But my
of it and
question
how it
is,
operates.
when the fuck has Hasan himself served in anything? So what are you even talking about? You're calling him a couch potato who will never serve, but then you are the exact same as him. You are a Twitch streamer. Okay, the difference is, you know, he doesn't support terrorists, but you are a Twitch streamer who spends 10 hours a day sitting at your computer. That is the definition of a couch potato. And I don't know why he's acting like he's ever been on the front lines. He might be talking about that one protest that he actually went to where they shot a rubber bullet into the crowd and then he randomly went, well, the officer shot me. Like, no, Hasan, that does not
Okay, that's
count
kinda
as them
goofy.
targeting you, and that does not count as you actually taking part in a battle, even though you want to LARP as a revolutionary. Tectone responded, Asmon's been gone for nearly a month and Hasan's love for him is as strong as ever. So romantic. Hopefully Hasan doesn't get C-word. All
And again, I don't
odetic to the
necessarily
clip
care
that
about
has
that,
voting
but
session.
this-
We
this
all
right
know
here.
this. Anyways, I decided to check out the full context of the clip that Hasan was mauling out over Asmongold, and it's even worse than I thought. This guy is apparently mad at the most common sense military requirements ever.
Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do PT every duty day.
Dude. If I was forced to do PT every single day, one, I think I would fucking hate it. I would have fucking hated it. But it would have been so good for me. It would have been so good for me. Because I've always been on the heavier side. I've been, the lowest I've ever weighed was like 180 or something like that. And I actually looked really good for 180. But, like, I felt like all the time I was working, because I was every single fucking day. Like on a deployment, when you're in the middle of the ocean for 6 to 8 months at a time, if not longer, because you always get extended, right? When you're out in the middle of the ocean, you're working so many hours. You're working like 80 plus hours a week. And it's fucking trash. You don't get any time off. You only get 6 hours to yourself on the weekend, specifically on Sunday. Sunday, you get 6 hours to yourself, and that's it. So, I was always too fucking tired to be working out. I would go do it every now and then occasionally. I worked out maybe like 2-3 times a week, pretty regularly. But man, they like, I could have gone, if I had been forced to go so much harder. Oh, the life. Oh man. Like, I wasn't like super overweight, but I had a little bit of belly, a little pudge when I was in, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is.
Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already. War does not care if you're a man or a woman. Neither does the enemy.
That makes sense. I will say that if somebody wants to kill you, they're gonna kill you. It doesn't matter. If somebody wants you dead, they want you dead, bro.
Nor does the weight of your rucksack, the size of an artillery round, or the body weight of a casualty on the battlefield who must be carried. This is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world.
Dude, some of the best people that I ever interacted with were women in the military. Like, hands down. Hands down.
But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards...
Bro, you'd be spending 10 plus hours. So they do this thing called RAS, right? And RAS is when your ship pulls along another ship in the middle of the ocean, and they bring supplies over from the visiting ship onto your ship. I can't tell you how many, and this is like a full day thing. It takes an entire day to work on this process, to move this material over. But it's like, there were plenty of times where something was just too heavy for some of the women. Like, and that's not to say that women can't carry heavy things, but like, if you have a small girl who's like 5 foot tall with no muscle mass trying to move a big part, then it's gonna fall onto somebody else regardless. That job falls to somebody else, and that would often happen where somebody has to pick up the slack because some people were not capable of just doing the job physically.
Standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not,
okay,
it is what it is. It will also mean that weak men won't qualify because we're not playing games. This is combat. This is life or death. As we all know, this is you versus...
Dude, this is literally the fantasy of... This is like having a couch guy run the military. Okay, this is the opinion of a guy who never served from the outside. Like, not saying that he hasn't. He was in the National Guard, but like this is literally the areas where you see this kind of attitude most commonly represented are the dudes who wear like the grunt force outfits, who are themselves fat as shit and never actually served or failed out of basic, right? And the guys who were like, oh man, I was gonna serve, but life had other priorities for me. But like, this is exactly what the military should represent. Yeah, like this is such a crazy thing to watch. It's such a crazy thing to watch unfold. Yeah, baby, let's go. The military, we're bringing strength back to our soldiers, to our brave warriors, man.
Dude, honestly, why is this guy acting like he has 10 years in the military?
Yeah.
Buddy, you haven't done shit. How are you possibly talking this much trash? So let me get this straight.
So I don't understand why would, like, you're I just don't understand. He has no basis to make his claims off of, or to make those statements from, because at the end of the day, like, he hasn't joined either. Like, as far as just being a general person, like, you don't have to join the military, right? The only reason I joined the military was because I was actually homeless. I got laid off from my job and I had no money and I was, homeless. So the military just happened to contact me at the time, and I was like, fuck it, man. I need 3 pots and a cot bad. I need food. I need a roof over my head because I can't keep doing this. I kept trying to get back on my feet and I just couldn't. So it was, it's strange. It's strange that that would be the perspective that he would, or I guess that would be the statement that he makes in response to somebody changing to Hegseth changing the requirements. It's just strange to me.
Great. Hasan is mad that they want high standards in the military. I mean, from the statements I heard, it didn't really seem like discrimination or anything. Obviously, they just pointed out that the enemy doesn't care if you're like a woman or minority. You still need the fitness levels of a top tier man, right? You need to be as competent as everybody else. And if they actually lower the standards for something like the army, something so important, you're going to fucking die because, you're going to get tired out. You're not going to move in time. You're not going to be able to carry as much stuff.
Dude, stamina fucking disappears fast. Really fast. Especially if you're not fit. And anybody who really understands, like anybody who, go do jumping jacks for like, go try to do jumping jacks for like 30 minutes. See how winded you get by the end of it. Stamina, or go boxing. There you go. That is a test of stamina. Your tank will empty quick as fuck. Go boxing and it'll be gone. Whew, sorry about that. Any stamina that you could have disappears so fast when you're boxing.
Stuff or whatever, and a variety of things. I mean, this stuff is just common sense to me, at least. And what people like Hasan always fail to realize is that these are the people who are actually protecting your rights, right? The fact that Hasan can sit in a $3 million mansion talking shit is because the military is actually protecting him, right? He wants this communist utopia or whatever, and he's making fun of soldiers, as we'll see later in this video as well.
Dog, you're already in the fucking military. What do you mean? Your life is already dog shit. Okay, you get thrown...
Okay. I sense no lies, but I also sense some asinine bullshittery. Like, bro, don't get it twisted. If you're in the military, your life is fucked. If anybody tells you that they enjoyed every single moment in the military, that means that they are either 1, lying to you, or 2, they were an officer. They were not enlisted in any capacity. Oh, that's so crazy. But I also while I agree with that, again, I don't have the most positive outlook on the military after my service, but I will say this is ridiculous. This
talking shit is because you're right. Like Hasan always failed to realize is that these are the people who are
this I can agree with this. I don't like that I agree with it 100%. But for what it's worth, that is true. It is true. The reason I can, if I wanted to come up here and say some wild shit, I could do it because we have the quote unquote freedom of speech, quote unquote. But legitimately speaking, we do have a level of freedom of speech, and we have it because of the military. Now, do I like what the government does with our military? Fuck no. Not all the time. Some cases, maybe, but not all the time. But at the same, the fact that, and the reason I'm saying this because I know what's coming next. I know what's coming next. I know what statement is about to be made.
Sit in a $3 million mansion talking shit is because the military is actually protecting him, right? He wants this communist utopia or whatever, and he's making fun of soldiers, as we'll see later in this video as well.
Dog, you're already in the military. What do you mean? Your life is already dog shit. Okay, you get thrown in the fucking brig for like a couple weeks maximum, okay?
So then he calls out...
Huh?
Because of what he's about to say. Agreeing with this very common sense take.
What is this? And not a moment too soon. Women should not have ever been in combat roles if they can't meet the standards that men need to meet. Equality is downstream from life and death. This policy should be applied to police and firefighters as well. Bro, this is it. This is what I mean. It's like, this is for Asmongold and people exactly like Asmongold. That's who he's doing this for. I think this is going to piss off a lot of top brass, okay? Women should not be in the military police force. I will die on this hill. My grandmother was a nurse in World War II. It's where she met my grandfather, who was a pilot. Women can provide value and service to the military, but that doesn't mean we should endanger lives pursuing the false god of equality by giving them lower standards for combat.
Oh, I'll say this. I'll say this. The value of a man's life is boiled down to a few very specific things in our society, and that is more of a culture thing than anything. And personally speaking, and I could be this might be a bit controversial, this might be a bit topical, but by and large, with what men's lives boil down to, men are typically are typically raised, right, to be quote unquote selfless, right? Don't get me wrong. By and large, there's plenty of men that are selfish in this world. Plenty. But a part is not indicative of a whole. A lot of men in society are to be providers. In some capacity, they are meant to be givers. In our society, it's just the way things come. It's just the way it comes down to it, right? And then a lot of times, a lot of women, and again, not everyone. You can't make a blanket statement, but a good majority, they would be considered takers. You taking, right? You take, you give, you take. It's just the way that it just is here. So it makes sense when a man is willing to give his life for his beliefs, which would be country, family, etc., and women typically aren't in that role. Now, if a woman wants to be in that role, I have no problem with a woman being in well, actually, I personally don't think that any woman should be in a combat role, but if they want to, I mean, more power to them, I guess. I mean, I mean, if somebody offers to help you move shit out of your house into your new one, I guess, just take the help. But at the same time, it's like, I can understand where they're coming from. If somebody wants to do that, then they have to meet the requirements.
Oh my god. Oh god. And Clean says thank you. Ugh. Asman couldn't even meet the standards of women. Yeah, I mean he would be the first to say, oh yeah, that's why I'm not serving. That's why I'm serving my country by being a Twitch streamer.
Okay, first off, Asman never said that he would serve in the army. I don't think, nor does he want to, right? I know he thinks he's like some communist gut. You're just society at this point with all overpaid, shitty Twitch streamer, and you're like a virus on society at this point with all these takes. And I love how he read out it because it's a perfectly reasonable take. So he basically said that women shouldn't be in committing them enough.
Okay,
if you're inside
that
equality in positions where life and death is actually at hand, only idiots like Hasan would actually have a problem with this and make it into some woke issue of this is probably oppression, guys. Shut the fuck up, you privileged piece of shit. Now remember last time Hasan said that he's not going to TwitchCon to keep people safe, and Destiny called him out for LARPing as a revolutionary, and then Hasan responded saying he didn't go because he implied that he was targeted and shot at an ICE protest, which is verifiably false. Well, now he's blaming Tectone. He's changed his story here.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Went to the LA.
The reason why he's not going to TwitchCon is because
matters in their own.
I care more about
how he finds out. He said people day after day because like even if you
I care more about the part.
Statement is this, and it's such a it's a all.
I don't care about this. Give me the part that I'm here for.
Do that. Risk pretty big on you to say precaution. Name like it's just the
Tech
this
guy yaps almost as much as I do.
He's just as regarded as him. Event so continues doesn't think that Hasan cares.
Deal. Oh, but you can like.
Good job.
Is possible to
his son. I'm here for the comments.
Like this case, figurative and our literally, we are literally getting thing and what to Disney all day. Other made like a that doesn't in 125 videos. Well, to be fair, they're not all Hasan. All right, our pal etc. with criticism is low.
Ass up, low. Make string.
The twin like Asmongold, Tectone, Ethan. If you acting so peaceful, right? We are actually lies, slander, corrupt style in life, hypocrisy.
He calls have been dedicated to deadlifting. He
Bruh.
anyway, appealing to my get.
Come on.
Listen, Mo.
I don't know why these first off Hasan truths come out so bad. In Hasan's told all 100 times actually left for him. Corner is that Yu-Gi-Oh to actually
Holy
mention.
shit,
Hasan is the last
dude.
person about him. Friends of his for him. My God, you're million people. So who? I don't give a. Just obey orders and go to jail. You know,
Oh,
I'm enjoying myself.
This part. This is the part I was looking for.
And probably gonna be richer than Hasan at this point, so you know it's gonna be great. Moving on to Hasan asking the military to disobey orders and go to jail, and says
Yeah.
that it's fine because it's just jail, guys. And a chatter literally calls him out for this, and he just brushes it off.
And I'm sure there's plenty of military members in here, active duty and former veterans as well. You literally don't have to follow rules that are illegal. They will court-martial you. You will lose your job. You might even be thrown in prison for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
But once the legal process goes through, you will be found totally innocent. Like, for example, if tomorrow...
What? Are you a fool? I'm kidding. I'm not gonna be mean. I'm not gonna be mean. But that is a foolish thing to think about. Like act like it's just so simple. It's so simple, right? A lot of the people who join the military aren't joining because they want to join to protect their country. Some people, yes, there's a good chunk of people who do that. But I only joined because I was homeless. I needed food and a roof and a bed. But there are also plenty of people who only join for college. The military tends to oftentimes target low-income areas or schools or things like that to find the people who are, less fortunate, and then provide them a quote-unquote way out. Happens all the time. Technically it happened to me. So, because initially I didn't want to join the military. I was doing everything in my ability to not, but I caved because I was fucking homeless, dude. What was I gonna do?
At a time, but once the legal process goes,
And disobeying a direct order. Okay, disobeying a direct order. Okay. Yes, you can disobey an unlawful order. But you have to think about what constitutes an unlawful order, right? In the military, they say a lot that perception is reality. And the perception of the military is based on the law that is provided by the government. If you disobey a direct order, shit can go downhill real fast. If we are actively at war and you disobey a direct order, you can be executed. And that's not special to the American military. The vast majority of militaries around the world participate in that mindset. That if you are provided a direct order, a lawful order, which again is based on the perspective of the military through the eyes of the government, you can be executed in a time of war for disobeying that command. Keep that in mind.
You will be found totally innocent. Like, for example, if tomorrow, let's say Pete Kegstand calls all the generals over and he gives them this like incredible speech and he tells them, you don't have to do this thing, you go to jail. Wait, what? No. I'm saying in the worst instance, like you get court-martialed, you might even be jailed for a brief period of time.
Huh? No sane person wants to go to jail. There's not a single sane person that wakes up and goes, oh man, I can't wait to step into a cell today. Oh jeez. There's no sane person that makes that decision.
But it's still better than participating in a genocide, for example.
Huh?
And many people have done that.
Oh my God. So Hasan's example of someone refusing to participate in a genocide is the old reliable Taylor Swift updates account. You can't make this shit up, bro. Oh my god. I for one, totally believe Taylor Swift updates when they say, update, as most of you know, I haven't been very active in the past couple of months because I was in prison. I'm back now, though. More Taylor Swift updates coming soon. Oh my god, why? I refuse to join the IDF Lamau. Oh my god. Taylor Swift updates from 2019. Oh my god. I totally believe you, Taylor Swift updates from 2019. But yeah, this is just the Ela Klein situation all over again where Hasan goes, oh yeah, Ethan's wife should have gone to jail at age 18 and refused to be a secretary in the IDF. And because she didn't actually do that, I will now forever call her a baby killer, terrorist, valid military target for the rest of her life. Classic Hasan right here. Once again, a reminder.
I'm not touching that. I don't think that's right, but I'm not touching that.
Hasan will not be going to jail himself. He will not be joining you in these efforts. If he was born in Israel, this guy's not going to jail. He is definitely joining the IDF. The soft-ass son of a bitch will not stand by his values, obviously. Every time he gets called out for not standing by his own principles, he's not stopping paying taxes that fund Israel's bombs on Gaza. Complete fraud here, but he wants other people to actually go to jail, right? Also, question, Hasan, since when did you care about the law? You support terrorists, bro. They have no concern for the law. What is wrong with this guy? Then he continues justifying it, saying, just go to jail, guys. It's just really easy. You'll be fine.
Yes, initially you will be, in the interim, you might get criminal punishments within the military courts,